For this week's lab, we're going to take a look at reaction time. And so again, we're going to use the PowerLab system. With the PowerLab, we're going to use two peripheral attachments. The first is going to be the push button attachment. And so again, it's got the 910 DIN connector, and then in this case, it's connected up to a simple push button type thing. The push button, you're going to put into input 1. So the first input there. And then we're also going to use the pulse transducer. And so the pulse transducer, like we've used previously within the lab, and so it's basically got the pulse transducer portion of it, a Velcro strap, and again, this is connected to a 910 DIN connector, and this is going to go into input number 2 on the PowerLab system. In this week's lab, we're going to use the pulse transducer as a stimulus. And so you want to make sure you protect the diaphragm portion of the pulse transducer. So wrap the Velcro strap around it and then link it in place. And then we're going to want to put this into a stable location on the countertop. So we're going to use a little bit of adhesive tape. And this is basically going to be to tape down the pulse transducer, so we can tap on it and it's in a consistent location.
So once the PowerLab system is set up, we're going to move over to the LabChart system. And so we're going to double click on the LabChart icon. This will bring in the Welcome Center. Within the Welcome Center, what we're going to look for is reflexes and reaction time settings. This may be in the kind of open menu right here. You may have a tab that says human physiology there, but basically go around within the tabs, look for reflexes and reaction time. You click on that, and then we're going to double click on reaction time settings. If it's an error, don't worry about that at this point. And then maximize this. So click on the large maximize button there. And we take a look at this. We've got channel 1 is going to be a response. This is what's hooked up with our push button. Channel number 2 is hooked up with our pulse transducer. And then channel 3 is going to be used for analysis later on with this activity. Now, what we're going to want to do is once this is all set, we have our volunteer ready. We have the person's going to be sending the stimulus. What we're going to want to do is basically add a comment. And so we got to go a little bit further. Okay, so we've got it started. We'll say stop right now. We're going to add a comment. And this is going to be reaction time with visual cue. We're going to click add. And again, this is putting the comment in place. We're going to know that the trials after this are going to go along with what we're doing here with the visual cue. Hit start. And basically nothing is going to happen at this point because the program set up within LabChart is going to look for that initial stimulus. And that stimulus is going to be coming from our pulse transducer.
Okay, so this is going to look a little bit artificial because I'm doing both portions of this myself. So it's a little bit skewed at this point. But the idea is that one person is going to tap the pulse transducer. The other person is going to react as soon as they see that. Okay, so the first exercise, you're going to take a look at reaction time with visual cue. So basically, the person that is going to be responding needs to be able to see the volunteer that is going to be hitting the stimulus. And basically, once they do that, they're going to see that and then hit the button. Hopefully, a little bit faster than that.
Now, what we're going to see on the LabChart system is that this is set up to take 10 recordings all at once. And so you don't have to stop and start this over again. And so if we tap this again, we're going to see that we have another recording on the LabChart view. So we're going to do this a couple more times. 3, 4. Okay, and at this point, we should be at 10. When you're ready to analyze your data, what you're going to want to do is go over and open the data pad. So click on the button in the top menu that says Data Pad View. Go into column C, and so you click on that. And basically what you want to do is set up to do statistics. The statistics you want to do are time at maximum in the right pane. And so time at maximum there. And we want to make sure that we are going to select the response, calculating from source channel being the response channel 1. And say okay there. Then we're going to need to switch back into scope view. So up to the top, go back here into chart view. And at this point, it's probably worth putting in the smart tile option. So we get the data pad view over to the left, the chart view over the right. Clear all this out so we can see it working. And so go back into the chart view. I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. You're going to highlight the block of data that you're interested in doing. Actually, before you highlight the data, go over to the far right for that down triangle where it says response over here for channel 1. Pull this down, change this to cyclic measurements. For cyclic measurements, make sure you're still on input 1, but instead of auto scale, which is kind of the setting here, make sure you click on event markers and then click OK. It's going to change the appearance of the events that you've got, but it's basically put the event markers up here and make it easier to analyze the data. Highlight the field that you're going to work with, the block of data that you're going to work with, and then go into your multiple add to data pad up here at the top. So you click on that. Find using our event marker from channel 1 response, event marker, and current selection. And then click add. And so what we have over here in column C now is going to be, our response time in seconds. So the first one we can see is 0.168 seconds. Second one, 0.148 seconds. Once you've got that information, you can then export this or copy this into Google Excel. It's not Google Excel, Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, and calculate the mean and standard deviation to fill in the information on the lab report.